while.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so down here. That would be ace. And in today's video, I'll be building and making 3 different types of tarps from Tarpology. And the ones I've been using in my previous videos, I hadn't really used them before, so I was kind of winging it a bit. I thought I'd come back to the basics and show you 3 very simple Tarpology ideas that you can use out when you're wild camping. So watch the end of the video, please like and subscribe. So this is the tent teepee. It's a really good one for strong winds and rain, and just generally a good tent anyway, because it's got a door that you can open and close on. So let's get it started. The kit I have is I have one of my walking poles. I have a 3x3 tarp. This one's a DD. There are other ones you can have. I have approximately about 9 or 10 pegs for this setup. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do here is make sure that you're in a nice bit of area, especially in the woodlands. Look up, make sure there's nothing that can come down in high winds. I've looked up, I made sure this area is nice and safe. Make sure it's nice and level too, or as level as you can find it, being in the woods. So I've got my 3x3 tarp here. I'm just going to lay it flat on the ground. Get that out, find a corner. So peg the first corner down. Get the second corner. And then right at the front here, you want to grab your 2 corners, bring them together, find the central ridge, which I've got a piece of string attached to mine, so I know where it is, and you want to pull them together so they meet. So the inner bit of the tarp forms a triangle. Now I'll get my walking pole that I've fully extended, and then the opening is at the front here. And I'm looking for the middle eyelet, which is 1, 2, 3 in, which is 3 into the middle one, to lift it up and give us support. One over here on the central hoop on that side. Now I usually do as well, I'll put an extra peg on this side so it can hold the door, so when I come to close it, it's there ready to do. And also this is why I leave on the central one here, especially for this top, I'll leave my guy line there, so when I open it I can just fling that around and I can put my hand out and reach and close it. It's basically a tent on the ground. Downside, you don't get the openness of looking out into nature or the woods or wherever you are, and it can condense quite a lot. You can get a lot of condensation inside, but if it's pouring down outside, a little bit of condensation on the inside isn't so bad. So to climb in, as you've seen already, we just climb through this flap here. And then when I'm in, I can fold this bit down to one side, find my guy line, and hook the door over the peg. And then we're good to go. Yeah, so there's plenty of space in here. I like this setup, especially for when it's windy. You're fully protected, and all your kit's nice and protected. Unlike if you saw me camping down on Derwent Water, there I got a bit wet because I had an open-sided shelter. This one would have been a great idea. This is a 3x3 tarp teepee, and the next setup I'll be showing you will be a tarp tent. So this tent is going to be the tarp tent, and I've got 8 pegs, 1 walking pole and 1 3x3 tarp. Okay, how we start this is, want to get the 2 corners. So I've got my 1 rear corner here. Place that in. Second corner, just pull that nice and tight against the first peg, place that peg in. And what I like to do with mine is the centre ridge runs that way, and so it's going to be at the door at that end there. Now this bit's an important bit, so you know you get your corner from the front, and you want to place it where the first rung is in from that corner. So where that rung is right here, you can just sort of mark my peg and bring the corner to that place there, and then peg it down. Same on this side. This is what I love about tarps, is like they are really simple to put up with a few pegs, and that's it, away you go. So same again, find your second loop that's in line with the loop at the back, make a mark where it is, make sure that line's nice and straight, and then you can place your peg in there. Got my walking pole here, and I want to place my walking pole on the 3rd hoop in. So from the back, 1, 2, 3, it's that middle one there. Let's go in and do that. Now we'll grab first loop in to form our doorway, and we'll peg that down on the side here. Same on this one, first loop. And there we go, you have the tarp tent right there. This one a lot because it's got an opening there, so it actually drafts quite well, so it doesn't get too much condensation in here. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. It's a great one. You can sleep easily 2 people inside this. Again, this time I like sleeping on this side instead of the back, so I'll get a bit of headroom to sit up in. Positives, yeah, it's quick. You can fit 2 people in. It's a solid structure for both wind and rain. Cons to it would say that it does have an opening, so wind does blow through. I'd say that's about it really on my personal preference. If you've got any other pros and cons for this type of shelter, please leave a message in the comments. That'll be ace. And also, if you've got any other structures you'd like me to see me put up or have a go at, or if you'd like to see me camp out in these and where you'd like me to see camp out in these and test these out for wind, rain and all sorts of stuff, that'll be ace. Leave that in the comments. We have one more shelter to go, and that will be the open-sided kind of baker tarp kind of. So this tarp setup is a baker's tarp. I really like this one for when I'm in the woods because I have an open-sided front, and it means if I'm allowed a fire, I'll have a fire. I can have a long fire in front of me and keep nice and cozy in the colder days. So let's get started. So I found 2 trees that are just over 3 meters apart, which is the width of my tarp. Best thing to do with that is just lay your tarp out between some trees and find that space. Now with this, how I like to set mine up is really simple. I will tie just a loop. So I'll take a bight of rope like that, or a loop, and then just do an overhand knot. Like so. So you're left with a piece like this. Then I'll wrap that round my tree. Now I can probably have mine about just between my sort of belly button and my sternum, and I'll feed the other end of rope through here. Now on this side, what I do is a trucker's hitch, which is where you perform a loop and you pull the working end of your line through, so you're left with a loop here, and then you can thread through the working end of the rope, and then you can just pull it nice and tight. And then with that, I'll just feed a bight through. The bight of rope can lock it off. And then I will just cinch through another piece of cordage, string like so. So put a loop through that bight and that's locked it off. And that's nice and tight. You can hit guitar test. That should be ace. Okay, so once you chuck your tarp over, make sure you've got 2 pieces of paracord, and this bit here is going to be your prusik. So with this one, place a loop over like so, thread the 2 working ends through once, twice, and then cinch it up nice and slowly. And you've got this locking knot here, so when there's pressure applied, it locks. And then what I do here is a shoelace knot or a reef knot on the end, just so it's nice and quick release. And then okay, so now the prusiks are in, I can peg down these back corners. And the second back corner goes in, and then I'll peg out the hoops at the back. Then to put up the front, what I do is I get one of my guy lines, and how I like to do these is put a loop in the guy line like so, and then feed the loop not all the way through but partially through, keeping hold of the non-working end and the working end, and then pull them both back through the loop or the bight of rope. I will write down what knot that is and put it up for you. I can't remember off the top of my head. An Italian hitch maybe. And that's just a nice way of securing your guy line to your tarp, and it's easily removed later on. That's one done over there. So I'm going to make sure that my front of the tarp here is lower, just ever so lower than the ridge line. Walking pole. So we've got that line goes to the tarp, and we'll wrap it around once so it forms a cross there, and then wrap it around again, but this time come underneath it there, and that forms your clove hitch, which makes it nice and strong. Because my guy line is so long, what I'm tying here is a taut line hitch or a guy line hitch. So I've taken my line through round the peg, and I'm going to cross this over the top and then bring it through underneath once, through the loop in the middle here, twice, 3 times. So it looks like that on there. And the next one, not going to take it all the way around, I'm going to leave a loop or a bight of rope where I'll feed another bight through, and that locks it off. And then to pull it tight, you pull down on one and pull up on the other, and that'll lock in place. And there you have your slippery guy line. That's long enough. So yeah, this is nice just to hold it down so it doesn't flap too much in the wind, and then it helps if it does rain, all the rain to run off the front here. And that'll just help all the water run down the front here. Awesome. So that's been tarps, tarps, tarps and tarps. I have shown you the teepee tent, the tarp tent, and the baker's tarp behind me. If you put down in the description below which one you like the best, if you put a comment down there. If you'd also comment where you'd like to see me camping these, whether it be on a hill, beach, a mountain, by a lake or anything like that, I'll go and do that in another video. That'll be ace. It'll be great for you to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching the tarp show today. I'll see you in the next video. To the wild.